Hey guys, Tarek Merryface here, and welcome to Merryface Aviation. It's been a long time, and this is an update video, which I know most people hate, but I think this is kind of important because I'm changing things up a little bit. I've been gone for a really long time, so I'd like to start with telling you where I have been, and I'm not putting a large amount of efforts in this video, so you might hear some background noises, and I will and and oops quite a lot. So apologies for that. But anyways, so let's start with where I have been. Uh, well, since I was a flight instructor, I actually quit that job and moved down to England, and it was there. You go, my dog's barking. And it was an opportunity for me to move on to new things. And I did that in the sense that I applied for jobs and I got an interview with a company that I really wanted to work for that flies the Citation Cessna Mustang. And I didn't get the job, and that completely crushed me. And then I couldn't get any other interviews, and I almost went back to to instructing at another school down south until I got finally a survey job flying the Vulcanair, or what you may know as the Partenavia P-68, which is a twin engine survey aircraft. And I've been working a lot on some secret projects, which I can't really discuss here. I'm really excited about them, but it's a lot of work, and it's only myself and another guy. Neither of us have particularly technically advanced, so these secret projects are taking a lot longer than they would if I had a whole team of people helping me out. So there you go. And recently, I just got an airline job, which it was a bit of a difficult decision because I haven't been doing survey flying for that long, only for about 6 months. But it's been quite rough on my family life. Going away the last minute for 8 9 days at a time can be quite draining on your relationships, and so I decided that I needed to move on to something else. And I recently got a job, so I'll be starting the A320 type rating soon enough with a company that I'll call Acme Purple. If you do listen to stuff like Airline Pilot Guy and Plane Safety Podcast, I believe it's the same airline that Captain Al works for. So perhaps I'll get to meet him, which would be very exciting. Right. So why did I stop making YouTube videos for a really long time? That's the next point I want to address. And the first one is I was a little demotivated. I didn't really feel that sort of sense and urgency that I once had to put out videos for many reasons we'll cover in this video, including motivation or wrong motivations, and also because I was afraid, more importantly. I don't know if you guys remember, if you watched it, I used to make these vlogs where I talked about my flight instructor days, how my week went, etc., and how my students were doing. Well, there was one video where I was talking about a technical issue I had with an aircraft, and why it's not that big a deal, and what I have to do as an instructor to deal with that. But my boss at the time got a phone call or a message saying that I was bad mouthing the school, which was absolute nonsense. I wasn't even mentioning the name of the school or where I was, and I wasn't bad mouthing anyone to begin with in any case. But since then, I kind of got a little bit worried and really started thinking about my job perspectives, and I started looking back at the videos I'd made in the past, and I started feeling embarrassed, right? Because I'm wrong. And a lot of the videos, I'm absolutely wrong. And I'm trying to be what I wasn't at the time, and I didn't really realize that, especially with the Mayday Talk episodes, right? I was making those for myself in the beginning, in the first few episodes. It was really about me, just sharing my opinions and trying to learn, essentially, and trying to learn together with the community. But it quickly became a sort of one-way conversation where I'm telling you stuff that's not very accurate. And what I was trying to be was an experienced aviator, and I wasn't. I really, really wasn't. I was a low-hour PPL, going through my ATPL training, and I was just trying to keep myself motivated and engaged with the aviation community. And I don't regret doing that. I just wish it hadn't come out the way it has now. But I will not remove those videos simply because It's part of who I am, and that unfortunately does put my job perspectives at risk at times. And I'm pretty sure now that a lot of YouTubers that I respect may have seen this, right? Bigger guys you probably know. I'm sure they will have seen these videos and thought, like, what a terrible pilot and YouTuber I am. And honestly, I don't blame them. So, really, this brings me to my next point because I was so embarrassed that I just thought, okay, maybe I'll just start a podcast and not reveal who I am, that I'm from Merryface Aviation, and just rebrand. But I thought that was the wrong thing to do. So I want to talk about the next point, which is I'm going to be honest with myself and with you. I'm going to try and do this channel a little differently and be realistic. I'm going to be who I am, a low hour commercial pilot. So I have experience, but I'm still very much in the beginning of my career. And I want to share my experience with you because some people are even further back in their career and they want to find out about life as a pilot and as far as what it's like at my point in my career and what they should expect when they reach this point. So I'll definitely share this. For example, a good example of that video is when I was talking about the troubles of converting a license. Those videos were vlogs, certainly, but I was sharing my experience, and I think it's very important to share those sort of things for the future pilots to know and to be prepared for. And I can also teach what I do actually know. So a lot of my educational videos I'm quite happy with, some not so much, such as the CRP videos, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. But what I do know, I'm quite happy to actually teach and to keep teaching because it's something I genuinely enjoy. And I love being a flight instructor precisely because of that. I like sharing my knowledge. So, finally, I want to tell you what's going to happen next. And it's going to be 6 steps, essentially. So, here goes. The first, no schedules or promises, right? So, I'm not going to set any amount of videos per week, length of times, and I'm not going to make any guarantees whatsoever in terms of what videos will come out or what I'll be doing in the future. All that is gone. Now, I know that may cause a lot of loss of subscribers. I'm not going to necessarily amass loads of subscribers, but I think it's the best thing for myself. And I have to realize that, after all, this is my hobby. YouTubing is a hobby for me. It's a part-time thing, and that's what I'm going to do. Which brings me to my second point. Since it's a hobby, goodbye monetization. So from now on, videos I'll be making, including this one you're watching now, will have no monetization. So no YouTube ads, no YouTube ad revenues, which means I'll have to quit the Freedom group because it forces me to do ads on my videos, which is something I never told you guys. I was actually with a one of those. It's been so long I've been in YouTube that I forgot what they're called. Those ad revenue sort of YouTube groups that they get a bunch of YouTubers under their own banner. So by doing that, I will purely focus on making videos for pleasure and to learn, to develop my teaching skills, my presentation skills, and of course my filming skills, and editing skills, which are just absolutely dreadful right now. And but the previous videos, the videos that have been on the channel up until now will remain monetized. So they will stay monetized, but because I'll be leaving the Freedom group, I'm basically not going to make any money from them in any case. I'll lose a lot of ad revenue, and that's fine by me. So it just means that my future videos will be unencumbered. Right, the third thing I'm going to do, no more FaceTime. So as you can see this video right now, not talking to a camera, I'm talking to a microphone. And I'm going to limit my appearance. This is for a couple of reasons, one of which is to protect myself. Right, I want to protect who I am as a person, and I want to limit the sort of liability I put myself or any company I work for in, right? And I could essentially, if something comes out where one of my videos is watched by a colleague, they can bring it to HR or whatever, the media group for the company, and decide, hey, this guy is not very good, or sort of shares an opinion that doesn't really correspond to our views or beliefs, and we don't want him in the company anymore. So goodbye. So by limiting my appearances, I'm going to hopefully protect myself a little bit more. And the second reason, which is not as important but still quite, is that by limiting my FaceTime, then I'll be really focusing on presenting to you content, right? The screen has to be relevant to what I'm saying. Unlike this video where it's just random sort of past videos I made and whatnot from just to fill the airtime. Right, the fourth bit is relevant and appropriate content. So, as I said before, I need to be honest with myself, with my experience and my capabilities, and I need to do the same with you. So for now, no more Mayday talk. I I find accident investigation fascinating. I am particularly interested with human performance. I did sports psychology in university, so I find that all that stuff really, really interesting. Swiss cheese models, all of that stuff is fascinating for me. But I'm not at a stage in my career, if I'm realistic with myself, where I can adequately analyze an accident and share it with the community. There are a lot better people for this. People with far more experience than myself would do a much better job of doing that. So Mayday Talk for now is going underground, and I'm not saying it's never going to come back, but it won't come back for a very long time until I learn the skills necessary to be able to create such content in a way that is professional, educational, and basically is a little bit more tasteful than what I've been doing in the past. It's watching some of my videos in the past is it's actually quite embarrassing. So that also means, being honest with myself, no more mentor-like videos. So like my rules for filming in the cockpit, in the flight deck, those rules are very relevant, and I don't think they're wrong, and I still agree with those rules. But the way I shared that content was a little bit condescending, to say the least. And there are a lot of my videos where I'm like that, where I come across as trying to be someone who knows a lot about what they're talking about, and that's not really right. What I will do though is share my experiences, right? I will tell you, here's what I learned today. Right? This is I'm a low hour pilot. I went to work today, and this is what I experienced. I made a mistake. My captain pointed it out, and I cost the company a little bit of money, and I won't be doing that again. And I hope you don't do it either, because now you've learned it from me. And of course, I will be continuing to share sort of educational content, like, for example, we did the videos with the forces in a climb. That's very important sort of videos, especially if you're doing your ACPL. And this is theoretical knowledge that I know and understand, and I can teach you in a way that is engaging, hopefully, and very much relevant to what you're studying to become a professional pilot, or just a recreational pilot. Either way, I do want to help you along that career. And actually, it's funny because some of my most positive memories I'm getting from being a YouTuber has always been about being contacted by or coming in contact with people who have watched my videos. So in flight school, when I was at Diamond Flight Academy, I met a guy who turns out now is a really close friend of mine. He watched my CRP videos, and he said that it saved his general navigation exams when he was doing the ATPL, which for me is just, it's great, it's awesome. And more than a couple times now, I have had people message me on Facebook telling me that they're going to Diamond Flight Academy in part because of me, because they watch my videos and they decide to go there, and asking me about tips and opinions, tips and advice on that. And again, that's a really positive emotion and feeling that I really appreciate. And so that's the kind of stuff that I want to be doing. I want to put stuff out there like that will help you. So yeah, so next will be, that brings me to the next point, number 5, which is more engagement. I'll try to engage with you guys more in the community. As I said, the most positive experiences was when you guys came to me and told me that I'd done something positive for you in your career. And I have to be honest, before I was being artificial, and it's not right. I wasn't being myself. I was playing the YouTube game. So from now on, I will be myself. I will try to engage more, but as myself, whether that's for better or for worse. I may be patient with you, or I may be a little short with you, but I will be honest as to who I am, and I will, of course, try and remain professional, because that is a personal belief of mine. But the fact is, if I'm honest, before I was playing the YouTube game, which brings me to my 6th and final point, which is I will not play the YouTube game. I will not create any sort of forced call for actions, right? So I will put up sort of subscribe buttons here and there, but I won't be pushing it. I won't be telling you to subscribe before or after the video, telling you to like or dislike. I maybe do that in the beginning just out of habit, but I'll try to get rid of that very quickly. And I'm not going to push it on other platforms. So before I was on Pinterest, on Twitter, on this, on that, or whatever. None of that stuff. The only thing I'm going to do is share it on the Facebook page, because I have a Facebook page. That's where a lot of people come and reach out to me. So I'll share my videos on the Facebook page when I can be bothered, and people can contact me there and try and have a chat with me, which I'm absolutely happy to do, frankly. And I will have sponsored content, right? I'm not going to pretend otherwise. Although this is for a hobby, I'm not going to say no if there's an opportunity to make a little bit of money, especially since making videos does cost a little bit of money, especially buying the equipment. So every now and again I will have sponsored content. Typically though, it won't be where a company comes and reaches out to me to sponsor my stuff. It will be stuff like affiliate programs. So for instance, the one I'm going to use for this video, which is rodmachado.com. I love Rod's content. I genuinely love Rod's content. Rod Machado is one of those instructors that should go down in history as being one of the best flight instructors to ever exist. And he has an affiliate program, so I've signed up for that. So if you ever buy anything, if you ever want to buy anything, or even just browse Rod's website, go do it through the link in the description below, because then if you decide to buy something and you buy it through the link in the description below, then I get a kickback, right? And I do appreciate that, and it does help me, and it is a little bit of a motivator. So that was a sponsored content, right? So that I try to make it, and that's what I want to do. I want to make it fluid, and I want to make it honest and open to you. If you want to support this channel, and you happen to want to buy sort of like educational content for flying, so it can be e-learning books or e-courses, whatever it is, go on Rod Machado's website through the link in the description below. See if there's anything that tickles your fancy. Rod is great because he's funny, and but he's a really good teacher and explains things really well in a simple manner without leaving anything out, which is very difficult to do. So that's why I'm so excited to have him as a quote-unquote sponsor for this channel. And that's it, really. I think I've covered everything. This is a really long video, 17 minutes and counting, probably 18 minutes. So if you manage to get through this video, thank you very much. Probably not going to get a lot of engagement, but that's fine. If you wanted to put that in the background to find out what happened to me, good for you. But I'll leave it here. I'm Tarek Merryface. I'll see you guys next time, and happy flying.